Hi everyone, this is Ida with Created to Create. I actually, I said I wasn't going to come on today, but as long as I have content, you guys, I want to share it with you. I actually bought the Heartfelt Creations classic rose stamp and die set, and I also bought the tray to shape them, and I'll show you what all that looks like. Hold on one second. This is the 3D shaping mold, and that looks like, hold on one second, I want to share it with you. That is this tray right here, you guys, that you use to shape the rose petals. So anyway, I use this tray to give it shape because I can make my own roses. But when you start putting texture, you know, and shaping them, it can be a lot of work, especially when you're doing every layer after layer and you're having to shape petal after petal. And when you put them in here, guys, it's really simple. I mean, all you really have to do is after you paint them, stamp them, and paint them, you just put them face down in the tray and spritz them with water. So, and it does have some corners where it lines up. It's got 3 pegs that line up in these corners, and then this corner has got an angle. It's got an angle, and you just line up the pegs right here in the corners, and of course the straight one goes over here where the angle is. So that's how you use this. And like I said, I have been using mine. I have been playing. Let me move that out of the way. The other thing that I bought, guys, is the dies, and I'll show you what those look like. I kind of have been experimenting, you guys. So anyway, the die looks like this, and it cuts out the one vine, and then it cuts out all the different sizes in the rose. The roses that you stamp out. And let me share the stamps with you. I got them right here, guys. I have everything out because I've been playing with all kinds of different things. So this is the stamp set, you guys, and it does come with the leaf, and it comes with the 3 different shape sizes. Actually 4, because, well, more than 4. Like, these are 2 different sizes. These are all different sizes, and then these are different sizes. So you have 3 or 4 different sizes in them. And you know, and I was trying to figure out a way to make it easier, to make it faster, because the first ones that I cut out, guys, and I tried to line up the die, and if you notice where I stamped it, it didn't cut directly on the line because it shifted on me. And you have to tape that in place and make sure you have it just right to cut out perfectly. Now I thought, you know, if somebody likes Heartfelt Creations, and let's face it, guys, Heartfelt Creations has amazing flower making dies and stamps and tools and all that, but they are expensive. And I myself personally, I bought the die, I bought the stamp, and then I bought the flower shaping mold. And then after I had bought it, I realized that I could have cut something out, which was the die, guys, because you know what I did? I stamped it, then I ran it through my brother's scan and cut. Look, guys. It cut everything out perfectly. The only 2 that it didn't cut out were these 2 and this one that the machine didn't pick up. But, you know, because they're stamped in a very pale blue. But if I had stamped these in black, you guys, it would have picked up the whole thing. But it still doesn't ruin them. You know, I could run it through again and have it scan it and cut it out again, that one and these 2 over here. But it got almost everything that I had on the sheet, you guys. Seriously, look, this is the whole 8.5 by 11 sheet. And it cut everything out, and I didn't leave an offset because you can leave an offset. I didn't leave an offset, and let me show you how close to the edge it cut it. Look at that, guys. Well, let me show you a straight one because I've kind of just used most of them. Look at that, guys. There's no extra left, and it didn't cut off the edges or anything. It's perfect. It cut perfectly, or my brother's scan and cut did. So, that being said, I could have eliminated the die completely because I do love a clean cut of a die. But when this is being shaped and crumpled and all that to give it that dimensional shape, the die, the crisp edge of the die doesn't really matter here, you guys. Like, it really doesn't matter. So I could have gone without the die completely and just bought the stamp set and the texturing plate to give it the shape, the shaping plate. And that's all I would have needed, guys. I would have eliminated, I don't know, what are they, like 20 something dollars? $30 for the dies. I could have eliminated that, guys. So, but I didn't know until I tried it. So I'm trying it. So in case you're interested, here's your opportunity to save money, because I already have my die, so I'm going to keep it, but I'm not going to return it. But for someone who hasn't bought it yet and you want to save a little bit of money, but yet you love Heartfelt Creations, well, definitely, most of us have some type of Brother Scan and Cut or a Cricut or something. I'm not sure with the Cricut if you can scan it in like the Brother Scan and Cut, but I know that for the Brother Scan and Cut, for me, guys, I have both. I have the Cricut and I have the Brother Scan and Cut, and I use my Brother Scan and Cut more than I use my Cricut because of the scanning thing that it has, the little screen where I can just stamp something, run it in there, and cut it out. So anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you guys, that I was able to cut, and it cut perfectly. This one, I stamped it in navy blue, and you can see the dark edges of the navy blue, that it didn't cut it off, guys. It cut it perfectly. And these I did in a light blue, and you can see that it cut those perfectly. But because I shaped them, it doesn't matter if I cut it with a die or my Brother Scan and Cut. And I'm going to show you how I put them together. Here is one blue one that I already put together. And I used the bigger petals. And then I kind of scaled down in size, you guys. And the cone is the smaller ones. And this makes a pretty wide flower, but it's flat. The center is flat, you guys. So if you don't want a tall, very dimensional flower and you want it to be flat, do your cone in the center with the smaller petals, flowers. But I decided to do one that had a bigger cone in the center, and let's see the difference. And I'm going to put it together, guys. And when I'm doing the cone, I actually flip it upside down, and then I use the tool and the mat that comes with it, and I just punch it right here, you guys. And I'll show you that real quick. I have my mat right here, and all I do is turn it upside down, guys, and I go like this to kind of curve in those petals, because I'm going to close those up. And for the outside ones, where I'm using bigger petals, let me use this one right here. This one, I would just leave it face up, and then I would just kind of, I can either just push it, or I can just, use my ball tool in a circular motion. So either way works, guys. And I already have mine already done, shaped, cut the way I want them. And I'm going to show you how I would put this together now. An easy way to do it is if you have some kind of plastic or acrylic pearl bead that you can put in there, glue it in the center. That gives you a base to wrap your petals around. But I don't normally do that, you guys. So I'm going to show you what I normally do. I do turn them in. I cup them in like this. And when I put them together, one will come, the outside of this one will come to the outside of this, and then this side of this petal will go on the inside of this one. So I kind of just offset them like this, guys, and curve them around each other to get that little tip there. So that's what I did to get that shape. So I'm just going to go ahead and add glue and put these together. And I hope that I stay in frame. I know usually I have trouble with that. And all I do is this, guys, just kind of close it around itself. And there is the beginning of my bud in the center. And then I'm just going to add glue here, guys, to this petal. And just, again, wrap it around this. Just hold it there for a second. And I'm going to do the same thing here. And I do pinch it, guys, to kind of just curve it. And here's the last one. And I'm going to pinch it and curve it. And there's the center, guys, of my rose. There's the center of my rose. Now that's the only one I need to do like this, guys. The other ones will be, the next one that I put on here is going to be more open. I'm just going to glue the bud in the center and just kind of gather these up right there. But I'm going to use not this next size up. I'm going to use the same size that I used to make my bud to start wrapping it. So I'm just going to add glue at the base right here. And I'm going to add the bottom piece, and I want to make sure that my petals are not lined up behind each other, that they're actually offset from the with the petals on the bud. The glue's getting all stuck in my fingers. Looks like it's shifted. And make sure you have it in the center, guys. You don't want for your flowers to be the center of your flower to be offset. So I'm just going to push these up, you guys, because I'm just starting the process where my petals are starting to open up. So that's why I don't want to glue them all the way down. And so that's all I'm doing there. And I kind of feel like it's shifted a little bit, but not enough to make a big difference. I need to add a little bit more glue here and down here. And I'm adding glue, guys, just to the base of that petal to keep them up, but not fully open, but not fully open. So there's that. And then I'm going to add, now I'm going to go up to the next size, guys. And I already did the tool in the center on the sponge to kind of get the petals to curve up. I already did that. And you can tell it more on this one than on this one. So I'm just going to add glue again to the bottom of my rose. And I'm going to, again, make sure that the petals are offset. They're not laying one on top of the other. They're in between. Like this petal is in between these two outer petals. So you start to see the rose taking shape. So the only one that you really close up quite a bit is the first layer, you guys. And then the second one, you leave it a little bit open. And then the third one, you leave it even open more. Like I didn't even pinch it up or anything. Now, at this point, I could go to a bigger size like this one and stagger it again. Or I can put another one of the same size and just to make it fuller. So I'm going to add another one of the exact same size that I previously did. I'm going to add another one. Again, making sure that the petals are offset, that they don't line up with each other. Make sure they're offset. See how beautiful that's looking, guys? Look at how pretty that is. And you can use wet glue, guys, and I did on my other one, but I find that it takes a little while to dry, and I like fast results. So now the last one I'm going to use is this one, guys. And I could do two, but I only had one of the bigger petals left. So actually, I don't even think this is the biggest one. So I'm just going to set it right in there, you guys. It's up to you how many layers you want to do. You don't have to do very many, and it'll be really pretty. And again, I'm going to make sure that it is offset. Now you're going to see the difference between the center of the flower on this one and the center on this one. See how this one's a lot more flat? This one is higher up. I hope that you can see that by me putting them down, that this one is quite a bit flatter than this one. And there's the side profile. Hopefully I'm showing that to you right. But if you want, like I said, a taller center or your flower to be more dimensional, of course use the bigger petals instead of the little tiny ones to do your cone. And if you want to do really small flowers, then I would say stick with the real small ones and don't go up any higher than this size, and then you'll have small roses. But there's the two roses, one if you want to keep it flat and one if you want a little bit more dimension. But look at how pretty these are, you guys. I didn't cut out none of the vines yet, so I don't know how well the machine, my brother's Scan and Cut, is going to work on the vines, but I am going to try it with my brother's Scan and Cut. And if I don't like the results, then I have the die. But as far as the flowers go, you guys, if all you want is to make the flowers, I recommend that you have a brother's Scan and Cut, I say just get the shaping tray and the stamp set. So that's what I created, you guys. I hope that this helps you. For those of you that are looking for, flower making dies, but you want to save a little bit of money, here's a way that you can save a little bit of money. And here's one that I did yesterday. And I added glitter to it like my friend Carolyn does. But on these, I just left them just a regular color. I might not even add any sparkle to it, especially if I'm sending them to somebody. Not everybody likes glitter, although most people do. I would like to just give that option to whoever is receiving whatever I'm creating. I try to leave some options open for them, although I do like the way the glitter one looks. But that's, you know, this is just me. But look at how pretty, guys, that is. Now, I could cut out another one of the big ones that I have left on my paper, and I think that's what I'm going to do. That way I can add one more layer to this, and this one will be as open or as big around as this one. But I think I like the taller cone versus the flat one. And again, it depends on what I'm doing. If I want a cone that's more prominent or one that's a little bit more shallow. But that's what I created, you guys, and I hope that this helps you. And like I said, I wanted to do it first before I said, you know, guys, you could do this. No, I wanted to make sure that it did work and you could do it, and that your machine is going to cut it the way that you want it to cut, the way you would with a die. The only thing is that I didn't have to worry about my die shifting. But that being said, you guys, I love Heartfelt Creations. I'm not knocking their dies or anything like that, because I do love Heartfelt Creations. But I tend to have problems with lining up and shifting. And with this, I didn't have to worry about that. Plus, I saved about 30 bucks. Or I didn't, because I bought it, but you guys can save that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope that you like the process that I just shared, and I think that I did stay in frame this time, guys. But yeah, I really like. If I had to say, you know, if I if I were doing a review on this, guys, or yeah, just a review on it, I would say I would totally buy it. But I've been in love with Heartfelt Creation for a long time, but because they are pricey, I don't have very many. And I didn't have the classic rose, and I had been wanting it for a long time. And even though I don't have the whole set to them, the main one that I did really want was to make the roses, the classic rose. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope everyone has a great day. Too, guys, you can cut a bunch of them out at the same time. Just stamp and cut them, and you're not having to individually line up your stamp every time you do another one, because you only get one of each die. With this, you scan it, make sure everything's correct, that it's going to cut right, and then just tell it to cut, and you don't have to individually do anything. Just sit back and wait for it to be finished. But I absolutely love it. But see, this one I did in that pretty blue that I like, and in the navy I stamped out the outline. Now I wish I had done them all in the navy, because I like that contrast between this blue and the navy. I think it's really pretty. And it, like I said, it cut all of them, guys, except for about 3 of the flowers on there. It cut everything. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope everyone has a great day, and God bless. Bye.